Useful as a medicine, I don't know. As a nutritional supplement, possibly because it has other benefits other than the vitamin C, like the other vitamins, antioxidants, essential fatty acids, that rosehip oil, which is the fixed oil and has now been able to be extracted and has proven to be very beneficial in arthritic cases. So feeding rosehips in that regard could very well be a perfect nutritional supplement. And yeah, 1 tablespoon a day, which is roughly how many grams? 20?
Are they imported or is that grown in Australia?
I would like Australian grown rosehips, but I don't know where my supplier gets it from. The best, the one I have sourced now is organic rosehip shells, and I'm actually not sure with the rosehips if you have the granulated stuff, because the fixed oil would be in the seed, and the seed is not there anymore when you have the granulated stuff, or when you just have the shells. I think the whole rosehips in that regard would probably be a better option to feed. And I have seen the horses, when I was living in Canberra, we used to go for rides and my horses would eat the whole rosehip. So they don't have any issues with the fine hairs inside the rosehip, they just eat them.
I don't find them along the way, you mean?
Yeah, they would find it at one. We would go riding out and there was Rosa canina growing wild, and they would just pick the rosehips off and ate them. Kelp is another one that's getting put into feed as a feed supplement for iodine, and as Juhani said, iodine and the thyroid have an affinity to each other. So I'm wary of kelp because I don't know where it's coming from, what's in the ocean that it grows in. So it's possibly a good nutritional supplement, but I think you need to know where it's coming from. Does it have iodine? How much iodine? Some people, and I've seen them, they just go in, they have their little scoop and they take the bag and they just scoop it out and throw it in, and it's okay. They don't weigh, they don't measure, they don't know how much iodine is in it. Kelp is very useful. The dose is there for as an iodine replacement, but you need to know how much iodine is in the kelp. NRC and Dr. Kellen recommend 2.5 milligrams of iodine per day per 500 pounds, which is, I said 5.5 milligram for 1,100 pound horse, which is a 500 kilo horse really, which is the average size. And then Kentucky Research has a slightly different amount, but we don't know how much is in the kelp at all. And the problem is with kelp, if you feed too much, it can be detrimental if there is a high iodine content in there, because it can actually cause hypothyroidism, and it's actually contraindicated if you have an animal with autoimmune mediated thyroiditis like Hashimoto's. I don't know if horses can get Hashimoto's, but it could very well be that they have. So if feeding kelp may not be the right thing to do, although it does have some other nutrients that are really good. Amino acids, some trace minerals, but it's mainly fed for the iodine, and they reckon it's good. From what I've read, is thyroid support in IR horses can be beneficial, so it may have a place there as part of a nutritional supplement. But I don't know, I leave that in the hands of the vets. It just scares me. The other one is garlic, another one of the herbs that I go, why? As horse owners just going and feeding it, but it's one that we need to be aware of. There's controversy about the benefits of garlic, the way they feed it for bug repelling. Garlic is full of good stuff: sulfur, selenium, iron, chromium, boron, so the trace minerals, zinc, copper. I actually haven't found a satisfactory dose for a horse of garlic. The research has shown that, they have fed up to quarter cup, 0.6 grams per kilo, something like that, to get the horses to get really sick. I don't feed garlic to my horses, full stop, unless there is a reason for it to feed it. Because garlic, and I know I'm treading on some toes there when I say garlic causes Heinz body anemia. It is toxic, it is even toxic to us humans. All alien species are toxic to all mammals. So it is the dose, and if you do have to feed it, the way to feed it is 3 weeks on, 1 week off. Or as I learned, it's 3 months on, 1 month off. So these are 3 herbs that, as a nutritional herbs, as supplement for feed, I would not use, but you find them in feed supplements. But you need to be aware of, and with garlic in particular, if you have a horse that needs antibiotics, sulfur-based antibiotics, you need to stop the garlic, but it stays in the system for a while. So it interferes with the sulfur-based antibiotics. Which brings me to safety. The problem is that the general horse population, owners, think that herbs are really, really safe, because what do horses eat after all? They're out there on the paddock and graze away, and they eat herbs naturally, so they must be really, really safe. Also, there's empirical evidence of herbal use. They're fairly safe, very few side effects, but the way we're starting to use herbs, where we look at individual constituents of a herb and say, okay, this herb has that, therefore it has to be good to treat that condition. It's taken out of their historical use. It's no longer used historically. There are herbs now used for conditions that they would never have been used in a traditional sense. So, does that mean that they are still safe? Maybe not. At least not for that particular way of use. Difficulties in finding adverse reactions, as I said, I usually look at the TGA, where the human herb drug interactions are reported, and it's never the drug's fault, it's always the herb's fault. And the most severe adverse reactions are due actually of inappropriate use of a herb or misuse of a herb. So it's not used fed in the right way, overfed, underfed, not fed for the right purpose, things like that. So, but it's always a herb that gets blamed for